BMW tells you this transmission never needs a fluid change. That's a lie. And it's a lie that's already cost some of you thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, Audi's dual-clutch gearbox got so unreliable, Volkswagen Group got sued over it. A real lawsuit, a real settlement, real owners left stranded. Two transmission designs, two completely different ways of doing business. And by the time you hit 200,000 miles, one of them is going to cost you thousands more than the other. I've got the real shop invoices, the real failure points, and the real dollar numbers for both. Stick around, because the answer isn't what most people online think it is. Let's start with what's actually inside these two transmissions, because that's what drives every dollar we're about to talk about. BMW doesn't build its own automatics. They use ZF Friedrichshafen, a German transmission manufacturer that's been building gearboxes for decades. Most BMWs from the early 2000s through today run one of two ZF families. The first is the 6HP series. That's your 6HP19, 6HP21, 6HP26, and 6HP28. 6-speed units, rated between 350 and 600 Newton-meters of torque, depending on the version. You'll find these in the E9328i and 335i, the E65 series, and the E70X5, built roughly between 2003 and 2011. On the used market, a car with one of these units at 200,000 miles typically sells for $2,700 to $5,000, depending on the exact model and condition. The second family is the 8HP series. The 8HP45, 8HP50, 8HP70, and 8HP75. These are 8-speed units that came out around 2008, and the 8HP70 can handle up to 700 Newton-meters of torque. You'll find these in the F33 series, the F10 and G35 series, and the F15 and G05X5 from 2011 onward. Depending on the specific variant, these cars trade for anywhere between $3,500 and $6,500 at 200,000 miles. Audi runs something completely different under the floor. Their dual-clutch gearbox, badged S-tronic, shares its fundamental design with Volkswagen's DSG, built in Kassel, Germany. Instead of a torque converter, you've got two separate manual gearboxes stacked inside one housing. One clutch handles the odd gears, 1 and 3 and 5 and 7. The other handles the even gears, 2 and 4 and 6, plus reverse. Before we discuss Audi's lineup, if you want a more in-depth look into how your BMW or Mercedes can last 100,000, 200,000, or even 300,000 miles, these ebooks reveal the exact maintenance secrets and brand-specific strategies that every BMW or Mercedes owner should know. If you want to check them out, the link is down in the description below. Audi's lineup here breaks into a few versions. The DQ200 is a 7-speed dry clutch unit for smaller, lower torque cars like the A1 and A3. The DQ250 and DQ381 are 6 and 7-speed wet clutch units rated around 350 to 420 Newton-meters, found in the A3, S3, and TT. Then you've got the longitudinal units built for higher torque and quattro all-wheel drive. The DL501, also called the OB5, rated at 550 Newton-meters, found in the B8S4, S5, A6, and Q5 from 2009 to 2017, and the newer DL382, rated around 400 Newton-meters, used in the B9, A4, A5, and Q5 from 2016 on. At 200,000 miles, these Audis trade between $3,000 and $9,000, depending on the exact transmission and model year, with the newer DL382 cars commanding the highest prices since they're simply newer used cars. Now here's the first big difference, and it's the one that costs BMW owners the most money if they don't know about it. BMW's official service schedule claims these ZF transmissions are filled for life. No fluid changes needed, ever. That's straight off the dealership sheet. ZF, the company that actually builds the transmission, says something completely different. Their own maintenance guidelines call for a fluid and filter change every 37,000 to 50,000 miles. Follow BMW's marketing, and these transmissions start failing around 93,000 miles. Follow ZF's actual guidelines, and the same transmission can run past 186,000 miles without a major issue. That's not a small gap. That's the difference between a transmission that dies at half its potential lifespan and one that goes the distance. Audi doesn't play that game. They require a fluid and filter service every 40,000 miles on their DSG and S-tronic units, no debate about it. That's actually stricter than what ZF asks for. But here's the catch. Stricter doesn't mean cheaper, and it definitely doesn't mean more reliable. We'll get to why in a minute. Let's dig into what actually wears out on the BMW side, because the failure pattern here is predictable, not random. As ZF fluid ages, it oxidizes and loses viscosity, which lets microscopic metal debris circulate through the case. That contaminated fluid wears down the valve, body bores, and the solenoid end plugs, which drops hydraulic line pressure across the shifting circuits. Technicians actually test this with a vacuum gauge, and when pressure drops below 16 inches of mercury at the end caps, you get harsh thumps going into drive, delayed engagement, or clutch packs that slip under load. The torque converter itself has a pre-tightened lockup clutch designed to engage early, even in first and second gear, so the engine and input shaft sync up for better fuel economy and a more direct feel. Over time, without fresh fluid, that clutch material glazes over and the springs holding tension lose their grip. That's what causes the shudder you feel during light acceleration, or the thud you feel shifting from first to second or second to third. There's also a set of small rubber seals between the main case and the valve body, including bridge tube seals and a rectangular adapter seal. These harden and crack with heat and age, and once they do, they vent hydraulic pressure that should be going to the clutch packs. That shows up as gear hunting, harsh downshifts, or pressure-related fault codes on the scanner. One more thing worth knowing. The transmission's control software is constantly adjusting clutch fill times and solenoid pulse width to compensate for wear behind the scenes. That's actually a good thing. It hides minor wear from the driver. But it also means the transmission can feel completely normal, right up until the software hits its adaptation limit, and then shift quality falls off fast, in a matter of days or weeks, not months. As far as the actual service work goes, on most 8 HP applications, the fluid filter is molded directly into the plastic oil pan, so a routine service means replacing the entire pan assembly, not just swapping a filter. And the bolts on that pan have to be torqued to exactly 10 Newton meters in a cross pattern from the center outward, because over-tightening will easily crack the plastic housing or strip the threads in the aluminum casing. Because there's no dipstick, technicians also have to check fluid level with a scan tool while the transmission sits between 35 and 50 degrees Celsius, with the engine idling. It's a precise job, but not an expensive one. That routine service runs $400 to $630, including parts and labor. If you get into the seals and adapter tube, that's a $390 to $630 repair. A remanufactured valve body with new solenoids runs $765 to $1,500, and reconditioning the torque converter runs $1,000 to $2,000. Here's some good news, and it matters. Complete internal gear failure on a ZF 8 HP is genuinely rare when the fluid's been changed on schedule. The vast majority of drivability complaints get solved with seals, a rebuilt valve body, or a torque converter refresh, not a teardown of the actual planetary gear set. A full replacement, if it ever comes to that, runs $3,400 to $7,000. One technical detail worth knowing if you ever have this transmission serviced. When a shop reinstalls the mechatronic module, they have to use dedicated alignment guide pins to seat it correctly. Skip those pins, and the internal position sensor gets misaligned with the selector mechanism. The computer reads that as a fault and triggers a permanent start block, meaning the car won't start at all after what should have been a routine service. It's rare, but it's happened enough that specialists specifically warn about it. Now let's look at the Audi side, because this is where the story changes. The mechatronic unit on a DSG or S-tronic transmission is the brain of the whole system, and unlike the BMW setup, it sits fully submerged in transmission fluid inside the housing. That's a rough environment for delicate electronics. Over time, heat cracks the internal flexible circuit boards, degrades the pressure solenoids, and causes voltage drift in the sensors. When the control unit starts reading conflicting signals, it doesn't try to compensate quietly like the BMW software does. It just cuts hydraulic pressure to the clutch packs entirely and drops the car into limp mode. No warning, no gradual decline. A refurbished mechatronic repair runs $1,500 to $2,500. A brand new OEM unit straight from the dealer runs $3,500 or more, sometimes up toward $5,000 once labor's included. The clutch packs themselves take a beating too, and this comes down to how a dual clutch transmission has to behave in everyday traffic. To mimic the smooth, low-speed takeoff you get from a torque converter, a wet dual clutch system has to slip its friction plates repeatedly at low speed. Every single stop-and-go cycle generates heat that slowly glazes the clutch lining. Owners feel this as a shudder at takeoff, heavy vibration from a stop, or the transmission hesitating to sync gears smoothly. Replacing the full dual clutch assembly runs $3,000 to $5,500. On the longitudinal S-tronic unit specifically, like the DL501, there's another failure point worth knowing about. These transmissions cool their fluid through a heat exchanger connected to the engine's radiator. If that internal cooler corrodes, engine coolant can actually leak into the transmission fluid. Glycol contamination ruins the clutch friction material and shorts out the internal wiring, and at that point, you're not looking at a repair, you're looking at a full rebuild. And here's a design quirk that catches a lot of shops off guard, because it's not obvious unless you know the platform. The longitudinal S-tronic units actually have two completely separate fluid chambers inside one housing. One chamber holds specialized dual-clutch hydraulic fluid dedicated to the mechatronic system and clutch cooling. The other chamber holds standard hypoid gear oil for the mechanical gear sets, the transfer case, and the front differential. A technician who doesn't know this architecture can accidentally drain the wrong chamber or overfill the gear oil side, and that mistake alone can destroy a perfectly good mechatronic unit shortly after what was supposed to be routine maintenance. This isn't a hypothetical problem either. Audi and Volkswagen got hit with a real class action lawsuit, Gillard versus Volkswagen Group of America, filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California. It centered on 2010 to 2012 Audi S4 and S5 models with 7-speed S-tronic transmissions. Owners reported shuddering, harsh shifting, and random limp mode with no warning. The settlement forced Volkswagen Group to reimburse owners for out-of-pocket repairs and extend warranty coverage out to 9 years or 90,000 miles. That's not internet rumor or forum speculation. That's a documented legal case with a court record. Now let's put real numbers next to all of this, starting with what an independent specialist charges, since that's where most smart high-mileage owners take their cars. On routine maintenance alone over 200,000 miles, the BMW ZF unit needs a service roughly every 45,000 miles. 4 services total, running between $1,600 and $2,500. The Audi DSG or S-tronic needs a service every 40,000 miles. 5 services total, running between $2,000 and $4,500. That's 1 extra service interval, and on the longitudinal Audi units, each one requires dropping the pan and accessing an internal filter, not a simple top-mounted swap, which drives the labor up. On minor wear repairs, seals and valve bodies on the ZF run $700 to $1,500. Mechatronic circuit repairs on the Audi run $1,500 to $2,500. On major overhauls, a torque converter refresh on the ZF runs $1,000 to $2,000. A full dual clutch pack replacement on the Audi runs $3,000 to $5,500. And if you're staring down a full transmission swap, the BMW ZF runs $3,500 to $7,000 at an independent shop. The Audi runs $5,000 to $12,000 for the same job. Now take those exact same repairs to the dealership, and the gap gets a lot worse. Now take those same jobs to a main dealership, and the financial gap widens even further. While routine maintenance over 200,000 miles at an independent specialist costs $1,600 to $2,500 for the BMW ZF, higher dealer labor rates and OEM markups push a full gearbox replacement on the Audi up to $9,500 to $12,000. Dealership pricing alone can add thousands to either side, but it hits the Audi harder simply because the mechatronic unit and clutch assemblies are more labor-intensive to access and replace. Add it all up, and here's where the two land over a full 200,000-mile ownership cycle at an independent specialist. The BMW ZF Automatic costs somewhere between $3,300 and $6,000 total. The Audi DSG or S-tronic costs between $6,500 and $12,500 total. That's a real difference of $3,200 to $6,500 in favor of the BMW. Here's why that gap exists mechanically, not just financially, and this comes down to three core differences in how these two designs age. First, fluid degradation works differently in each system. ZF fluid is a hydraulic medium that mostly degrades from normal thermal cycling over time. Wet DSG fluid, on the other hand, is directly cooling slipping clutch discs every time you're in stop-and-go traffic. That constant thermal load breaks the fluid down faster, which is exactly why Audi requires shorter service intervals and why the longitudinal units need those expensive pan removal services. Second, wear isolation works completely differently between the two. When a ZF torque converter's lockup clutch wears out, a shop can pull that converter and rebuild it on its own, without touching the main gear set or the electronic control unit. It's an isolated repair. A DSG doesn't offer that luxury. When a clutch pack wears down, the metal debris it sheds circulates through the same fluid that's cooling and lubricating the mechatronic solenoids, so one worn part starts dragging the rest of the system down with it. Third, the control electronics themselves live in very different environments. The ZF mechatronic assembly sits in a valve, body built to take some punishment, and most high-mileage ZF repairs are limited to rubber seals or a discrete solenoid. Audi's mechatronic brain is fully submerged in fluid inside the transmission housing, exposed to constant heat cycling that circuit boards simply weren't designed to survive for 200,000 miles. That's why full mechatronic module replacements, running $1,500 to $5,000, come up far more often on the Audi side than actual internal gear failures. None of this means the Audi gearbox is a bad piece of engineering, and it's worth being fair here. Shift speed on the S-tronic is genuinely impressive, somewhere around 8 milliseconds per gear change, with zero interruption in power delivery. The ZF 8 HP counters with its own strength, executing shifts in around 200 milliseconds, while still using a torque converter to isolate drivetrain shock and keep that low-speed refinement. If you're the kind of guy who drives hard and wants that razor-sharp dual-clutch shift feel, that's a real legitimate advantage on Audi's side. You're just gonna pay for it down the road. So here's the real answer. If you're keeping a car to 200,000 miles and you want the lower cost, more forgiving option, the BMW ZF Automatic is the one that gets you there for less money. If you're willing to pay more for sharper shifts and you stay ahead of the maintenance, the Audi DSG can still take you the distance. Either way, the fluid change interval is the one thing that matters most. Ignore it, and both of these transmissions will let you down early. Respect it, and you'll get every mile you paid for. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if you like content like this, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.